lot of people have said recently, including many Arabs, that how can Qatar or Saudi Arabia or others criticize Assad for dropping barrel bombs on innocent people in Syria when you're part of a coalition that's dropping cluster bombs on the poorest country in the Middle East, Yemen? What do you say to them?
Well, you have to differentiate between two situations. In Yemen, there was a government, being a legitimate government, when being tried to overthrown by Ali Abdullah Saleh and the Houthis. They violated all treaties and the GCC initiative and the national dialogue. The intervention was according to the Charter 51 of the United Nations, Article 51, to restore the legitimacy.
But it's not necessarily in accordance with human rights in terms of cluster bombs being used in civilian areas,
Ali Abdullah Saleh,
residential buildings being blown up.
Ali Abdullah Saleh and his follower, if you are following the news in Taz, he is killing children and women too.
And no one's defending him. I'm asking about the coalition is blowing up wedding parties,
No.
power plants, dairy factories, residential buildings.
Coalition targets are very careful to target, a military.
Human rights groups have accused you of war crimes and crimes against humanity.
Well,
in Yemen.
human rights, we respect their job. Sometimes they give you an indication to correct if there is some mistake.
So will you stop using cluster bombs since
But
they've warned you about them?
in my knowledge, I don't think there was any cluster bomb being used.
You're here in Washington, D.C. promoting bilateral relations with the United States. You're meeting with John Kerry. The U.S. is a very close ally of Qatar's. Why do you think it is then that the U.S. government has publicly referred to Qatar as, quote, a permissive jurisdiction for terrorist financing? Why has the U.S. State Department referred to Qatar's overall level of counter-terrorist cooperation as, quote, the worst in the region?
Well, there is so many cooperation going on between Qatar and the United States at so many levels, at a strategic level, at a working level too. So the cooperation we have with the United States is unquestionable, and they know exactly what we do. We have at all levels great cooperation. America is a friend, USA is a friend and ally to Qatar.
Undoubtedly so. So isn't it worse when a friend says that you have the worst record in the region?
It depends who says.
The State Department said it.
Who's the State Department?
The State Department report released in December 2009 via WikiLeaks said Qatar's overall level of counter-terrorist cooperation with the US is considered the worst in the region. Al-Qaeda exploits Qatar as a fundraising locale.
Mahdi, I will not base my relation with the United States according to WikiLeaks.
No, it's a State Department report.
It's
a State Department report.
What I know, and I'm telling you.
Okay, what about David Cohen, who said that you're a permissive jurisdiction for terrorist financing? The Undersecretary of State for Terrorist Financing.
Mr. Cohen has his own opinion.
No, he speaks on behalf of the government.
Let me tell you. You want to know the what's. He's expressing his view. There is so many times where we asked Mr. Cohen to present an evidence so we can take measure against individuals. If individuals here and there are committing mistakes, we are willing to cooperate.
He didn't give you evidence?
We cannot take people to court if we have no evidence. You talk about human rights, you talk about...
David Cohen, who is now the CIA Deputy Director, he said last year that there are US and UN designated terrorist financiers in Qatar that have not been acted against under Qatari law. He named two individuals, one of whom the US Treasury Department accuses of sending $600,000 to Al-Qaeda in Syria.
But I think with his new capacity, I think he knows the level of cooperation with both agencies now.
But you're not going to arrest any of the individuals he named?
You may go and ask him again now, Mahdi.
Okay, so you don't think he's...
No, go and ask him about his opinion now. I think now with his new position, he knows the level of cooperation between his agency and our agency.
And you're not going to make any of the arrests of the individuals he named, just to be clear?
No.
A lot of people say Qatar is a big power in the Middle East for a small country. What do you see as Qatar's future in the region? Is it as a power? Is it as a power broker, a kingmaker? How would you define Qatar's foreign policy vision?
Actually, Qatar has been known for a long time of a good mediator. And we are a part of the international community, and we are working accordingly to see peace prevail in the region. And this is what we do.